Haven't seen an interesting one of these in a while. This one looks like a disco ball. This is Upper West Side. I've been writing up a piece about where you can still find working public payphones in Manhattan, and I'm going to do the other boroughs too. But when I got to the part about these old booths on West End Avenue, well, I figured I ought to come back out again and do some more follow-up research, because I don't want to send anybody out looking for a phone that doesn't work. I can only do this to the best of my ability, of course. Now, last time I was here was March, so about 4 months ago. This one was the only one. There are 4 of these payphones contained within phone booths on West End Avenue. This one's at 101st, and the last time I was here, about 4 months ago, this was the only one that actually worked as advertised. And it still has dial tone. And when I say as advertised, I mean that I'm supposed to be able to make a local call without paying anything. It's supposed to be a free call, and it appears this is going to actually work. I dialed the number and got a thank you, and now there's a ringing. Wait a minute, why is there a ringing? It's supposed to answer like immediately. Try this again. Maybe I dialed something wrong. Unless there's something wrong with my number, which is not beyond the realm of possibility. But that seems pretty unlikely. Alright, that sent me to a message from Verizon Wireless saying there was an error connecting my call. I'll try just some random other number. It didn't let me finish dialing. I'm starting to think this phone doesn't work. Let's see what 311 does. No, it's another Verizon Wireless error message telling me there was an error connecting my call. It's very faint too. I don't think you're going to be able to hear this, but I'll give it a try.
Verizon Wireless, please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, where you can complete your call with a credit card, calling card, or via collect call. Announcement. Switch to -10. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, where you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, calling card, or via collect call. Announcement. Switch to
Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. I'll have to play back later to see if you were able to hear that. The gimmick about these phones, there are 2 gimmicks really. It was what I guess you'd call an attempt at a publicity stunt. Well, let me see what ANI check does. But the gimmick was supposed to be that the booths were being kept in place as a tribute to the the cultural heritage of the phone booth and its iconic place in the landscape of America and New York City and yada yada. And I sort of understand the spirit of that. What I don't understand is why they chose to replace the American style Airlight phone booths with Canadian models. This is turning up some weird messages today.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, or you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, call card, or via collect call. Announcement 10, switch to 2-10. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, or you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, call card, or via collect call. Announcement 10, switch to 2-10.
Alright, so that's what I get when I try to do an ANI check, so this phone is screwed up. But the gimmick was, like I said, about the booths, and then the calls from these 4 phones were supposed to be free as a kind of synergy between the old payphones and the new Link NYC things, which are replacing all the phones. Domestic phone calls from Link NYC are free, and by making calls from these things free, it created some kind of cultural synergy between the old school and the new, or something like that. So that one was at 101st. This one is at 100th Street, and it's the same Canadian style booth. Because what did the Upper West Side need more than a little Montreal, right? So let's see if this one works. Has dial tone. It didn't have that last time. Okay, I got the thank you again, but we got that last time. Waiting. Okay, it's ringing, and that's not supposed to be what happens with this number. It's supposed to answer immediately. So I think we're going to have the same situation here. Yep. It's that welcome to Verizon Wireless message again. Probably proving a point that was made in comment on one of my other videos that CityBridge has probably just pulled the plug on its whole contract with Verizon. I had thought these were still landline phones, but maybe these were, I guess these were wired for wireless just like the others. I give CityBridge some credit for that last one, 100th Street. Like I said, last time I was out here, it didn't work at all. This time it at least had dial tone, but now it seems to have fallen victim to maybe just a billing snafu. Maybe they just forgot to pay the bill. And you know, that wouldn't be the first time, because back when they were with Vonage, before they switched to, I'm talking about the kiosks now, the phone service through the Link NYC machines used to go through Vonage. And they had an incident where I was trying to make a call, and the message came back saying that they hadn't paid their bill. So it was pretty funny, actually. But I mean, you'd think that these corporates would have, you know, this stuff all automated. I don't know. I mean, if you have paid any attention to CityBridge, or know anyone who has, you'd know that this is completely within character for them. They just don't care about this stuff. They don't care about these things they put out on the street. And it really shows. So this is almost certainly going to produce the same. Nope, no dial tone at all. Here's the old number. approaching the last one, or the first one. And as I've had time to chew on all this, going from one location to the next, I think it's a certainty that this one's not going to work. Because if they haven't paid their bill, then none of these are going to work. The question becomes, do they simply forget to pay the bill, or do they just not care anymore? And do they know full well that none of their phones work, and they just don't care enough to do anything about it? I think that might be it. Well, we got dial tone, and a pretty good sounding dial tone at that. That's bullshit. She said, please deposit 25 cents. That's a good sounding dial tone, listen. But I'll do this again so you can hear the evidence. Yeah, that's not how this is supposed to work. There's been much written about this, or at least there was at one time, that these phones are all supposed to be free. For local calls, that is. So that gives you a big goose egg. However, I can at least say that this phone should work if you have the money, if you have the coin. And that error in processing your call just happened again when I tried the ANI check. So I'm gonna put up some of my own money here to see what happens when I actually make a regular call. Wait, hold on a second. This is really hard to do with only one hand. It just goes right through. Kind of a nice music to that. Welcome to the smart city. All right, there's my research for the day. If anybody tries to tell you that the last 4 phone booths on West End Avenue have working phones in them, then you can direct them to this to show them that they're wrong.